Hey guys, welcome to the fourth and final video of a video series I've been doing on the hidden cost of control. So I'm talking to those people that need that predictability, that need that safety, that have their schedules planned out, and that have and maybe their scheduling isn't the right way to say it, because maybe your schedule feels like chaos, but you control other aspects of your life, the way you look, the way you present yourself. They all need to be on point, spot on, don't make anyone uncomfortable. And through this video series, we talked about the hidden cost of that, what that is actually doing to your life and your relationships. And then we talked about why it's doing that, why it has such a big impact on your health, on your finances, and on your relationships. And then we talked about the common mistakes that people make when trying to get out of this control cycle or this control loop that they're stuck in. Some of the words that get said and the vernacular that we say during this need for control or predictability is sometimes it feels like nothing's working. Sometimes it feels like it's all my fault. Some other things might be, I feel so stuck. I feel so stuck here. Or this is bad. This is good. Being over in this place where I want to be is better than where I'm at now. I need to do better. All of the words that I just said, they trigger a certain ripple effect in the nervous system. And we did talk about that in video 2. It steals a lot of your energy and it steals a lot of your resources. So what is happening deep down is we don't need to look at, and we talked about this in the last video, we don't need to look at fixing your control freak. We need to look at why is it there in the first place. And this oftentimes is the one thing that people need to get out of this pattern. And this is the awareness of why they're there in the first place. When we are in a control cycle, when we get stuck in this need for control, and do not get me wrong, every single person will fall into this category at some point. You are not alone in this cycle. But where it comes from is this fear of the past. We do not want to repeat something that happened in the past. I don't want my kids to experience the life that I experienced. I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to have to live that life again. I don't want to have to experience that again, right? And so we do everything right now that we can to prevent said experience from happening, which we also talked about. That was the third mistake, is blaming it on the past. However, it's a big part of why this cycle is still occurring. The next thing is we have a fantasy of the future. So I talked about having the best intentions behind what we're doing. The best intentions, I want my child to think of me a certain way. I want to create these experiences for my family. I don't want to experience divorce. I don't want to experience this in the future. Do you see what I'm saying? I want to have this feeling in the future, and I want to be called that in the future, right? We're dreaming. This is where our dreams come. And what happens is we get stuck because sometimes the future that we're looking for actually calls for us to be something that we resent from the past. And so us resenting the way our parents parented can prevent a certain aspect of our future with our children. It's this polarity of thinking good, bad, right, wrong. It's the polarity of judging your past and judging your future. So you can't see that they're playing tug-of-war and you're stuck in the middle, right? This continues on with what I've been talking about, that if you are stuck in idle or you are at the stoplight with your brakes and your gas on and you're just running, burning through your resources. And maybe you feel like I have the strategies to not burn through my physical resources. I already eat healthy. I already have all of these things that happen for me. So I don't really physically burn out, but maybe you financially burn out. Maybe you spin your wheels financially. your investments don't pan out. Maybe it's you can't seem to get more clients or make more money, and you're stuck in that burnout cycle because of one of these or both. You have a fear of the past and a fantasy of the future, and they're contradicting each other. And what I call this is I call it a blind spot. And so if this is something that you're experiencing and you've done the vision board, you've done it over and over and over again, and you've looked at your vision, maybe you have a blind spot that is preventing you from getting from point A to point B. And what's happening is you're stuck in this cycle because you can't see that the pattern from the past, your judgment of it, prevents you from stepping into your future. Or your fantasy of the future is preventing you from being fully present with where you are right now. And I know that doesn't seem like that's a lot. That seems like it's too simple. But oftentimes it's just the realization of, I resent my mom, so I beat myself up whenever I do need to discipline my kids. I don't like that my mom didn't let me do this, but now you're seeing that you have to do the same for your kids. And now because you resent your mom, you feel guilty, you feel icky. Do you see the ripple effect of how the past and the future can play tug-of-war with your mentality? And then you feel like this is why there's a strong need and a strong sense for predictability. Because if anything steps out of line, well, then I'm like my mom. And if I get emotionally reactive, I'm like my mom. If I am tempted, well, then I might cheat like my dad. Do you see how it's these mentalities that are keeping you stuck? And I promise you, there is a way out of that. In my group courses, we are going through, and we are not only pinpointing those patterns and those strategies that you've judged, but we are also working through and looking at clearing them. Now, your awareness alone of these contradicting emotions has a lot of potential to create massive change. And then your life won't be so small. So when you have that big breakthrough just from an awareness, please reach out, let me know. But if you feel like you've done all the right things, you're stuck in one of those maybe mistake loops where it's like, I've kept myself so healthy, maybe I can't get out of this because I can't see where the real problem is. Maybe it's I still haven't healed through this trauma. And it's not looking at it as this happened to me. It's how can I stop letting this trauma be something that is using me versus me using it. There's a difference between the two, because until you stop blaming the past, you will be used by the past, and then your future will be impacted by it. So I hope this provided a lot of value. If joining the group coaching sessions, which we are using each other's reflections, we're using mirrors to help, not like physical mirrors, but we're using each other as mirrors to find the blind spots that we haven't seen. Maybe it's recognizing that I wasn't able to lose weight because I didn't have a big enough vision. Maybe it was recognizing I was stuck in my relationship because I was comparing it to something else. Those are really, really simple when I say them out loud. But when you can't see and you're stuck in a blind spot and you're stuck in that place, that has massive potential to create the ultimate chaos, because, right, you're doing all of these things to prevent the chaos, but deep down, you still feel that chaos. If joining this group is something that is aligned and is for you, I would love for you to contact me, reach out to me. We'll have a link for you to apply in the comment section, the description section. And if not, we have plenty of other videos where you can start to, and we will have plenty of other videos where you can start to learn more about yourself and gain more awareness, because maybe this is just your tiptoeing in and you're starting to see like, all right, there is another way out. I don't have to positive think my way out of this. I don't have to perfect eat and perfect action my way out of this. There is a way to a more expanded life that doesn't involve me being a control freak. And if you don't want to do that alone, I'm here and my group is here, and we are here to take on and show you that this life does not have to continue the way that it's continuing. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to creating more series. If there's more questions that you have, please put them